Leafs sends game 4 and an opportunity for the Toronto Maple Leafs to finish this series, put an end to Ottawa's postseason hopes, and ease an entire fan base. You've got an opportunity, a game here tonight to close this thing out, to just absolutely pummel a team. 4 straight, the sweep. Something we've never seen in the Austin Matthews, Mitch Marner, William Nylander, John Tavares Core 4 era. And it is in your hands here tonight in Game 4 in Ottawa. In today's pregame video, we'll break down what we have for lineups. We'll talk about the goaltending matchup, talk about what we expect from this game to an extent here, as well as our best bet. And it's all a presentation of Bet365. Right here on the Leafs Nation 401 YouTube channel, where earlier today you would have watched, and if you didn't already, make sure to check it out. Nick Alberga and Carter Hutton teeing up tonight's game, as well as Nick sitting down in person with Kyle Bukowskis out there in Ottawa ahead of tonight's game. Let's not waste any more time. Let's go right to it. Let's go over to Daily Faceoff, where we can take a look at tonight's lineup. So what we're going to see here for your Maple Leafs on the first line, sticking together, Matthew Knies, Austin Matthews, Mitch Marner, Pontus Holmberg, John Tavares, William Nylander, round out your top 6. That first line remaining together of Knies, Matthews, and Marner, down to your second line of Holmberg, Tavares, Nylander. I would not be surprised. I'm just going to throw it out there. I don't know. And you know what? In a way, I would see it. I'll preface this. If it got changed, I wouldn't be surprised. If it stayed together, I wouldn't be surprised. I feel like Pacioretty looked good in that last game. I don't think he looked like the difference maker he was when he played with Tavares and Nylander, but I thought that he looked good in that last game. Now, if you put Pacioretty into that second line, I think you could get some more jump out of him and maybe kind of form out that second line a little bit more. Maybe start to get a little bit more 5-on-5 offense. But if you didn't move him, I wouldn't be surprised. So that's kind of all I'm trying to say on this one. Is like, I don't see changes being needed to be being made on the first line, the fourth line. I don't really see changes being need to be made here on the second and the third. But if they did decide to do something, or as the game went on, make something happen there, I could see that being the case. Those are your 4 lines for tonight for the Toronto Maple Leafs. We will now go to our defense, but before we get there, just a quick note. If you haven't already, make sure to get on over to nationgear.ca to get yourselves any of the gear that we've been wearing for the playoff run. Look, I am superstitious. I try to say I'm not superstitious. I'm just a little stitious. I'm superstitious. You know, I'm wearing the Leafs Nation t-shirt, the one I've switched back and forth between the black one and the white one during the day in the pregame. And then as I go to the game, and as I'm getting ready to watch the games each night where we've been at Greta Bar for the past few shows, I switch into the Now We Go shirt. But regardless, I've got the Leafs Nation merch all day. If you want to get yourselves a Now We Go shirt as we are along for the ride here, make sure to head on over to Nation Gear. We do have all playoff coverage happening right here on the Leafs Nation 401 channel. You're not going to want to miss any of it. Make sure to head on over to nationgear.ca. Subscribe here to the Leafs Nation 401 right here on YouTube. We have you covered for all things Toronto Maple Leafs as we go down the stretch. Get in on the action now. Head on over to nationgear.ca, theleafsnation.com as well, where our writing team has just been absolutely cranking out content like you wouldn't believe. On location in Ottawa, getting quotes, getting clicks, all that kind of stuff. The guys there are dialed in. Nick Alberga out there right now as well. But make sure to check it out, theleafsnation.com, Leafs Nation 401 right here on YouTube, and get your playoff merch, nationgear.ca. Let's get on over to our defensive lines for tonight's game, as well as our power play, penalty kill, goaltending. So, taking a look first and foremost at the defensive pairings, Jake McCabe, Chris Tanev as your first pair, Morgan Rielly, Brandon Carlo as your second, Eggs Benny, Simone Bobby Orr, Benoit as your 6, and Ekman Larson beside him as your 5. Those are your defensive pairings. I don't really have much to add. The defense has been very, very, very good here, and for Simon Benoit to be as involved as he has and being as trusted as he has, I think has been an awesome thing, watching your third pairing defenseman get that kind of love and make that kind of an impact on the game. Down to your power play units, you stick together with the 5 forward unit on the first unit. You stick with the second unit of Pacioretty, Domi, McMahon, Riley, and OEL, and that seems to just make sense to me there. We all know what we're getting for the goaltending matchup tonight, at least from the standpoint of who's in net. You're going to get Anthony Stolarz, who's been unbelievable at this point. You're going to get Ullmark on the other side, who has not been quite as impressive. What I would say about it, if you are the Leafs, put the absolute screws to Ullmark. Make his life miserable. Any chance you get here, you have to be making his life uncomfortable. Get to the front. Get your ass in his face. Make it not easy for him to see. Make sure that on rebounds, you're battling away. You're not making it easy for him to cover stuff up and not have all these second chance opportunities and stuff. Be there. Be on top of him. Make his life hard tonight. Because he's a goaltender who's going to be fighting it. Mentally, physically. He's going to be battling in this one. He knows he has to be better. Everyone in Ottawa right now knows he's got to be better. Excuse me. You got to come out and bring the fire on this guy. You got to make his life hard. Because if you give him 1 ounce of comfort here and you make his life easy tonight, and the Sens find a way to win this game, maybe he starts to build off of that moving forward. You want to shut that down right away. Make his life hard. Make his life difficult. Anyways, let's get now to our best bet for tonight's game. And as we go to our best bet, you guys know it. If you don't already, I just at this point, I don't know what you're doing. You should be subscribed here to the channel, liking it. We do have a amazing partner here that has probably not been that happy if you've been tailing along with every single bet we've given out this year. Because in our best bets, we are up $951 on the season. $951 in profits on the year. And not just $951 on profits, that's 9.51 units. So regardless of if you're following along with our exact unit sizing or what, if you've bet every single bet and you've betted at Bet365, you are profiting this season all the way through into the playoffs here now. But this is our best bet segment presented by Bet365. You want to get in on the action for Stanley Cup playoffs at Bet365? They got you from game props, player props, totals, and the money line. You can even bet on futures like series winners, conference champions, the Stanley Cup champions, and much more. Whatever your bet, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Download the app and get in on the game, an official partner of the Stanley Cup playoffs. Must be 19 or older. Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you or somebody you know has a gambling problem, visit connectsontario.ca. So going over to Bet365, look, sometimes you just have to keep things simple. Sometimes just don't overthink it and do what's easy and what's there and what's right. And that tonight for me is in the goal scorer segment, and it's at the top of your screens. Austin Matthews anytime goal plus 160 is the best bet for tonight's game. It's simple. You need your big boys to be your big boys in these closeout games. Traditionally, they've struggled a little bit. They haven't been there. They haven't quite made the impact that you'd like or expect them to. It's been a big conversation every year. You're up 3-0. You've got a chance to close this out. Matthews scores in the last game. Your core four have had their fingerprints all over this one. Special teams, 5-on-5, it doesn't matter. They're scoring. They're accumulating points. I think the core shows up here tonight in this closeout effort. Another guy that I looked at, it's not a best bet, but I looked at, probably will bet it at some point here, is William Nylander. I bet personally a little bit small on Matthew Nyes. But it's Austin Matthews to me, and especially at that plus 160. Best price in the market at Bet365. It's a great number. It's way higher than what we've seen on this guy in the past few games of this series. It's way higher than what you see out of him normally in a regular season game. It's the best bet. Let's keep it simple. Let's not overthink it. Austin Matthews, anytime goal, $50 on this one, profits you $80. That is all for the pregame video. If you enjoyed this, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe here to the channel, turn on notifications so you don't miss anything. You don't want to miss anything. After Dark shows, breaking down games, having guests, Nick Alberga popping by the show here tonight, live from the Canadian Tire Center. If it's the boys on Leafs Morning Take, Adam Copeland popped by, Alan McCauley popped by, Cross popped by the other day. These guys are just piling in amazing guests. Eddie Belfour earlier in the week giving some advice to Anthony Stolars about how he should handle Ridley Gregg. Make sure to check it all out right here on the Leafs Nation 401 on YouTube. Almost now at 16,000 subscribers. Hit that like button, subscribe here to the channel, turn on notifications so you don't miss anything. Thank you guys so much for watching, liking, subscribing, participating, all of it. We look forward to seeing you guys right back here for the Leafs Nation After Dark show following tonight's massive victory against the Ottawa Senators, where the Maple Leafs look to hope to punch their ticket into the second round after a 4-0 series win, if they can get it done here tonight against the Ottawa Senators. Thank you all for watching. Look forward to seeing you back here for Leafs Nation After Dark. Until then, keep believing. For more content just like this, including game previews, post-game live shows, Leafs Morning Take, Monday through Friday with Nick Alberga and Jay Rosehill with special guests, as well as instant reaction videos. Make sure to be subscribed here to the Leafs Nation YouTube channel. Turn on notifications so you don't miss anything, and drop a like.